Hello, my name is Ikia Young, and I am a licensed professional counselor and clinical director for Skills on Wheels. Welcome to our video series on grounding techniques. Today, I'm going to explain to you why grounding techniques are helpful, as well as give you some examples of how to do that. Grounding techniques are useful because they give us some assistance in those moments where our emotions feel like they may overtake us. They give us a sense of control when we may be feeling overwhelmed by intense emotions, distressing thoughts, or even physical bodily symptoms from things like anger, anxiety, and panic. We want to use grounding techniques to give us a moment of thought between a reaction and a response. We want to use grounding techniques in those moments where our thoughts are causing us not to think clearly, right? If we have been triggered or someone has behaved in such a way that immediately takes us into an emotion, grounding techniques can give us that moment to pause and to think and to respond in a healthy manner. There are times when stress, negative thoughts are persistent in our brain, and we can also use grounding techniques to help stop those negative or distressing thought patterns as well. One of the main grounding techniques that people use, or that we recommend here at Skills on Wheels, is called a 5 sense check-in, and that means using all 5 of our senses to calm that body and to ground ourselves into the present moment. What do I mean by using our 5 senses? We want you to identify 5 things in the moment that you can see, right? Then identify 4 things that you can touch, right? Identify 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and then 1 thing that you can taste. All right, maybe it's a peppermint or a piece of cinnamon candy, but it is great in that moment to engage your senses there versus what I'm thinking about in my head, right? So those are called the 5 sense check-in, or using our 5 senses to check in with ourselves in that moment. And I will repeat those. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. These help shift your focus from what you're thinking about into the present moment. Another good grounding technique is called the cold water or ice therapy, where you literally go into the restroom or go somewhere and get water, just a cold temperature of water. Doesn't have to be freezing, but just something to kind of splash on your face to calm that body, right? It shifts you into an awareness of your physical body in that moment. You're also able to hold an ice cube in your hand. Again, both of these activities activate what is called your vagus nerve, which is in charge of your nervous system. And if we can activate the vagus nerve, then we can calm down the emotions in that moment. Another way to engage in grounding techniques would be to do something physical like a push-up or a squat or even a wall sit. No, we're not asking you to punish yourself by doing these activities, but in that moment, if you can drop and do a sit-up or do a push-up or do a squat or a wall sit, I'm engaging my muscle groups and I'm doing something physical, which tends to take our mind off of the distressing thoughts in that moment. We can go for a walk. We can stretch, right? Or we can even do something like a clench and release type of activity where we tense and we gather our shoulders and our muscles and we clench and hold and then we release. You let that out and you hold, and you can clench and release again, hold for 4 or 5 seconds, and then release and hold that relaxed feeling for 4 or 5 seconds. Another grounding technique we want to share is a weighted or deep pressure type technique where perhaps it's not summer yet, but when it gets warm, you can go outside and put your bare feet on the ground, feeling the grass, feeling the dirt, right? I'm not saying mud or get yourself all filthy, but certainly feeling the earth and ground beneath your feet, pressing, putting pressure onto your foot to feel the ground underneath, right? There are also tools called weighted blankets or weighted throws that someone can use to kind of lay over your lap, or if you're able to recline in a sitting environment for just a second, you can lay a weighted blanket over you, and that gives the body a sense of safety, a sense of security. It's literally a security blanket feeling, but you can lay that over your body as well in order to calm that body down. Not all grounding techniques are based in physical activity, but you can also engage in mindful type of activities, one of which would be a box breathing method where we inhale for 4, we hold for 4, we exhale for 4, and we hold that for 4. So doing something, it's like in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, and repeating those steps until the body appears to calm. We're able to also repeat mantras or affirmations, right? I am safe. I am good. I can relax. I can handle this. This will not consume me, right? We can repeat something over and over. Again, applying our logical thinking part of our brain versus our feeling or emotional part of our bodies. It helps to reframe negative thoughts also. We can step inside the room that we're in and start to describe things that we see. Kind of similar to the 5 senses check-in, but you can just simply engage with, I see a blue chair, I see a brown carpet, I see a yellow wall, I see a black seat, I see a black t-shirt. So we can start to identify and name things that are around us. And again, it engages our logical brain versus our emotional brain. We can use humor, right? Looking at a funny video, or recalling a funny memory, calling someone and just having a joyful conversation in that moment can help take our mind off of what was being distressing. And one of our final grounding techniques is to also engage our faith, right? We can inhale, do the box breathing, but in those moments we can repeat one of our favorite scriptures, right? Be still and know. Or one of my favorites is Isaiah 26:3 that says, He will keep thee in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. He will keep thee in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. And you can repeat that. He will keep me in perfect peace. And it starts to sink in to your thought process to believe that I will be in perfect peace because in this moment I need peace if I keep my mind on Him. It's almost a remedy or a solution or the founding concept of grounding techniques. We also suggest you listing 3 things that you're grateful for, or reminding yourself, what is your purpose and what is your role? And in this moment, this thing that I am so upset about or I'm so stressed out about probably pales in comparison to what's really important in your life. We hope that here at Skills on Wheels, these grounding techniques are very helpful for you. As always, if you are experiencing a mental health emergency, please dial 911, go to one of your local emergency rooms, or call or text 988. Thank you.